And I am live. Am I live? I'm live. Check. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's get into it. So, Amazon says its new AI can lift retail conversions up to 17%. Imagine that hitting your profit and your P&L this quarter. That's going to be game changing. That would be game changing for you. I'm Roland Thomas, and I help small businesses demystify AI and supercharge their impact by turning these buzzwords into really plain words, right? And meaningful ROI trackable assets that actually lift revenue. I want to start with this. Let me grab it real quick. Do it like this. But I want to start with this. Salesforce said $229 billion of global online sales were influenced by AI and agents in the form of product recommendations, targeted offers, and conversational customer service support. I want to help you understand what that means. That is game changing. And if your business is not being recognized by generative AI like OpenAI, or it's not being recognized in that way because people are searching and getting answers through AI related sources versus typical Google, then your business is going to be missing the boat and you're going to get left out and left behind. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. Look at this. 229 $229 billion of global online sales were influenced by AI and agents in the form of product recommendations, targeted offers, and conversational customer service support. 19% of holiday purchases were influenced by consumers engaging with AI and agents at a 6% increase from 2023. And this is references 2024 numbers. Retail use of generative AI features like agents increased 25% during the holiday season compared to September and October in 2024. Shoppers used AI and agent powered chat for customer service 42% more than they did in 2023 holiday season. So if you have a small business and you're not leveraging AI from a customer support standpoint, because maybe they don't want to call, right? They just want to ask the AI based upon what's going on with the product and services that they have worked with you with, and they just want a quick answer. But they really don't want to talk to a chat. They really don't want to talk to a person. They just need a quick answer, troubleshoot something real quick, and get to where they're trying to go. And they use generative AI to do that. And so if your business is not set and in place for that, let's just say you're a electrician or plumber and you don't have some sort of AI communicating from a customer service standpoint to your customer, you're missing out because that's what they're starting to use, right? Like that is impressive. It's impressive. But I'm really my goal is to get into some daily highlights, some daily news that's happening with AI. So let me share this next one with you. So Microsoft invests 2 billion in SentinelOne for AI cybersecurity. And so everybody knows who Microsoft is, right? But Microsoft announced a bold $2 billion partnership with SentinelOne, aiming to integrate advanced AI powered threat detection and automated incident response into Microsoft Defender by Q2 of 2026. The deal marks what executives call the largest security investment of the year and setting a new standard for enterprise protection. That is fascinating. Let me switch to this. I want you to see. That is fascinating. Again, like I said, we all know who Microsoft is. One of the executives were quoted AI is the most transformative force in the world, but without security, it becomes a liability. This is Tomar, the CEO of SentinelOne, and it's so true. AI is moving so fast, but what we're seeing with this move from Microsoft is that this is going to this is about using AI in a cybersecurity standpoint. Can I can I? I'm gonna go. I'm just can I hang out with you for a second? I actually went to school for infrastructure assurance. That was my original major was infrastructure assurance at the University of Texas San Antonio. And man, I went there and I failed. I straight up failed. I got to programming logic, and man, I was struggling, and I still don't. To this day I don't know why. It's like I understood what was going on, but I just have no idea why I was not getting programming logic. And AI has been around for a long time, and I'm so grateful that AI has kind of really hit the scene now. Because I remember trying to just set up my own cybersecurity with like Snort, and man, I was just I couldn't get that thing to read packets worth of nothing. But what I like about AI is that it because I understand, I get it. I get it from a high level and I understand what's going on. And so now because of the large language model, I'm able to communicate with it and I'm able to communicate with AI and it can translate what I'm trying to get to in its process. And so if I needed to create a workflow, if I needed to uh create a logic, I can describe the logic and it will go and create the logic for me. I can describe what I want the code to do and it'll go make the code for me. Now I have enough knowledge to look at a code and say, oh, okay, I got the gist of kind of what's going on. I can at least follow the code. Now I'm not an engineer like that, so I won't get into deep details into coding, right? But um I can speak to the code and allow AI to translate it for me, right? Because I know what I'm trying to get at. And I know what I'm trying to do. And I was working on a landing page and I built the landing page out and there was a portion of that wasn't working. And I was able to go take the code and then go talk to Chat GPT and tell it to fix the code in this particular area so that I can get this landing page to do what I wanted to do. Right. Um, um, had this been back when I was in college, I was in trouble. But now with AI, it allows me to communicate with it and I can get it to do what I want it to do in layman's terms. Like, so I want to help you demystify how you can leverage AI in your business, right? Because AI is allowing the regular old folks. Can I say it like that? Regular old folks to get it to supercharge what you're doing. Okay, so let me go back to Microsoft here. So what why does this matter, right? Um, the end-to-end security integration empowers enterprises to dramatically cut breach risk and compliance costs, offering a robust risk management and operational uptime. Right, this is what this means for corporate America. How do they do this? I find very interesting. Right, there's there's an element of deep learning. There's an element of anomaly detection. Right, the detection model is going to analyze data streams, right, in real time and enable proactive threat prevention and rapid response. Like that that is super cool. So that means that the AI actually gets to stay in front of what's going on, right? The deep learning in the background communication. When new threats come out, it's able to quickly learn and add those data points into its own system to stay ahead of breaches, right? That is super cool. And so if So what is so bring it down one more. Bring it down one more for you. Just to again, I want to connect the dots for you, right? This means that number one, the threats are going to be more sophisticated, especially because unfortunately with AI, right, you're going to have good people and bad people, right? Bad people are obviously trying to figure out how to do things. So you want to have a security system in your business, big, small. But I'm just talking to your small business, right? You want to have a security system that you're able to um, start securing your workflows, right? That have an AI driven platform, okay, that will offer automated threat detection, right? And again, even on a limited budget, and something that's modular that you can add on to it and grow it out as you see fit based upon the complexity of your business and the threat risk that comes to your business. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. Go to the next one here. All right. So Amazon, and this kind of connect. The Salesforce was kind of connecting this dot to the Amazon. Amazon launches an AI powered retail analytics for merchants. Man, that's cool. So Amazon rolled out. Hold on, get my screen here. Amazon rolled out its AI powered retail intelligence suite this week, and it promises merchants up to a 17% greater conversion rates at a 12% lower supply chain costs. This generative AI assistant is already helping early adopters personalize recommendations and optimize demand forecasting scale. Right? Isn't that always the key? If you can forecast the your scalability, that allows you to actively plan your supply chain management. A lot of and I came from supply chain, right? Supply chain failures happen because of honestly poor planning, right? If we just boil it down to it, poor planning is what allows the supply that was what allows supply chains to fail. Now what does happen as well is you have external circumstances that come into play, i.e. big worldwide events come into play, and that messes with your supply chain. But you have to be at a place where you can leverage yourself to stay ahead of those supply chain issues, right? This is this is allowing AI to help you forecast that. So if you don't have, if you're not a part of some kind of supply chain mastermind and all this super duper stuff where you can figure these things out, or get some insights because that knowledge is housed with somebody. This allows you to have an AI program that will help you forecast like the pros, like the big boys, right? And so that you're able to put measures in place in order for you to not have supply chain failure. So if you have especially if you're in distribution, um I'm gonna say distribution, especially if you're in distribution, or even if you're in product manufacturing, you got to be able to forecast all the different pieces that you need to build that product, um, based upon your orders that are coming in, right? And then you want to be able to forecast where you're going. What Amazon is doing is allowing its merchants to be the with this new tool, allowing them to be able to do that on a big scale with a smaller budget. Like, that is impressive. That is impressive. Okay. So how do they, how about they do something like that? I'm always, that's where I always go. So what this is really getting at, right? You're going to have some generative AI models, some predictive analytics, and recommendation engines work together to analyze transaction data and drive real-time actionable insights for their retailers. Man, that's super cool. And so again, what does this mean for my for my corporate partners here? Corporate retailers, they gain a sharper forecast and a more dynamic pricing control, right? And giving them agility and profit resilience even in volatile markets. Because you're gonna have that predictive data that's uh that's coming in before it becomes a big problem. It's gonna recognize it beforehand. Like, isn't that always the key? If we can recognize when the issue is first presenting itself because there are anomalies in the data, then that's going to help you plan better. And initially, right, we rely on a human element to manage that, but now AI is going to give you the ability to do it at speed and scale, right? And that right there is the key. Okay, we go to this next one. So Google, all right, here we go. So Google is partnering with the Mayo Clinic. So Google partners with the Mayo Clinic for AI healthcare diagnostics. This is changing the game for healthcare, y'all. Like, this is wild. So Google and the Mayo Clinic announced a $500 initiative to co-develop AI models for early cancer detection using um, I'm gonna butcher this word. Anonymized. Anonymized. I might have said that right. Anonymized. Anonymized patient data. And this collaboration aims to deploy the first cloud-based diagnostic systems in major hospitals by late 2026. That is a goal, and that is wild. That is wild. So again, we see here that Mayo Clinic and Google has announced a 10-year strategic partnership that redefined. This was from 2019, but that will help redefine um redefine not how healthcare is delivered and accelerate the pace of healthcare innovation through digital technologies. Right. So did this. So this is it's been a long time coming, but they're not playing. All right. But but how would they do that? Right. And that's really where I'm getting at. How would they do that? So hospitals and care organizations, they can I'm sorry, let me get it. How would they do that? These AI models will use computer vision, natural language processing, which is NLP, which is like OpenAI, ChatGPT, and then a um, federated learning, which is basically when it's able to take all the different data sets or all the different systems and what is learned and pull it all together, but also protect the patient's info, right? So it doesn't see um, a particular person where it's got this information from, but it's housing all this data in one place. Kind of like cloud. I forgot though which one it was. It kind of like having a cloud server where all the information kind of comes into one place, but it's gonna take out the patient info, but it's just gonna have the raw data and that data set from the different issues that are going on come together so that it can read and learn from this centralized information that's coming in, and distributed clinical records, and this would distribute clinical records securely. So, but again, well, what is that? If you're in a healthcare space, right? What does that mean? The healthcare small businesses, you should investigate AI powered diagnostic tools, right, and add-ons, and partner with tech firms to bring a faster, safer analysis to the clinic, right? If you can analyze quicker based upon the data, imagery, especially imagery. That's what computer vision is. Computer vision is looking at images and being able to detect changes and to be able to check to be able to detect the differences in those images. So the computer, the AI would learn based upon what it's looking at, which is super cool. You can so that means from a healthcare standpoint, you can use that to um to help your AI learn what this looks like at different stages. So that's super cool. You it's worth looking into. Now, this last one I'm gonna talk about, which is really, really interesting. Um, I'm as I was reading this one, this one got me a little bit excited. Can I nerd out for a second? I have to nerd out for a second on this one. This was super cool. But Cognizant, all right, here we go. Cognizant, boom. Cognizant is to hire 1,000 context engineers for agentic AI. Back when I was coming up, the job to have was know, programming, IT programming. It's still relative, still needed. But what's interesting, the number one requested, not number one and number two requested job on LinkedIn is something AI related. Think about that. That's very impressive. Cognizant is looking to deploy 1,000 context engineers for agentic AI. Okay. So Cognizant unveiled a plan to hire 1,000 context engineers by 2026, leveraging Workfabric AI, AI's context fabric to engineer business context into enterprise-wide agentic systems. The approach promises up to 3 times higher accuracy and 70% fewer hallucinations, smoothing the path for AI pilot phase and full scale automation. So Cognizant is it's a technology solutions company based out of New Jersey, founded in 1994, and it's a global IT consulting and business process and outsourcing provider. So Ravi Kumar, one of the CEO of Cognizant, said that by training 1,000 context engineers and equipping them with Workfabric and AI's context fabric platform, we're helping our clients move beyond experimentation towards scalable AI adoption. So, what is a context engineer? So, in what makes a good AI chat work, AI bot work, is a prompt. So you want to have a good prompt. If you just say what's going on today, it's going to reply back with what it thinks is going on today with no other additional information. It's like, well, anything's going on today. The sky's blue wherever you at, wherever it's raining today. It'll just start pulling stuff, right? And then the better you get at prompting, the better information you get. But even with that, it still hallucinates, right? So you want to double check. Honestly, this is why when you look at when I look at there are certain platforms that are a little bit better than others. So you got ChatGPT is really really good at chat at you chatting with and getting answers and things like that. Some things it still hallucinates with. So I personally like Perplexity when it comes to getting detailed information, articles, stuff like that. Really, what I use to put this together, I use Perplexity, right? So Perplexity is it's a great tool. It's like Google on steroids, um, but it minimizes your hallucinations, and you can fact check it a little bit quicker. Still have to have good prompting, but you want to you want to really give it some guardrails. This is what a context engineer does. It gives the agent, the AI agent, guardrails, and it gives it structure. I talked about it earlier. It gives it almost like a logic plan. It helps you put in the policies and things like that you're going to need for it to not derail from, so that it can get to the information that you're having to look at, right? So why this shift this shift is actually especially when we're talking about corporate America, big, fortune, big corporate America, right? This shift is moving agentic AI from experimental to industrial. It's boosting reliability and driving measurable business results at scale. This is why this matters, right? Um, Being a good prompter is one skill set. The next level to that is being able to add the context, add the guardrails to it. So you see people folks who are really good at prompting, they innately add context to it so that it doesn't hallucinate and so that it doesn't go sideways, right? And it gets the information that you're looking for. Um, I noticed that even as I grew in um, my prompting got longer because I was adding context to it to not derail. And then when you're a big company, you add a lot of context to it. You add your policies. You add things that you do and do not do to your prompt, to that agent, so that it has some guardrails and it just don't make up something. And if it made up something, you know, 200 pages into the code, you gonna have a problem. you know so you want to, I think this is really interesting that they're really framing up what it means to be a context, to add context to the prompting to get better results, right? And minimize the wasted. Because once you're once you're once you run that agent and it hallucinates, man, it just start having you gotta go in, and then you gotta go in and fix those hallucinations, right? You gotta go in and fix it and tell it to not like, a, don't hallucinate, but why did you hallucinate? And then put some measures in for it to fix that, right? All right. So how do you connect the dots with this with a small business, right? Documents. Your documents, your structure. So you document and there's we say that. You document and structure. So document and structure your workflows now, right? So document, structure your workflows now to prepare for future AI integrations, right? Have whatever your workflows are, detail it, and you can actually have AI help you detail it, right? Um, detail your process and workflows now, so that when AI integration comes, and you partner with vendors who offer a context aware automation, you will avoid some of these common pitfalls, right? Because you're not, because you haven't really conceptualized how AI works. You think, man, I'm doing a good job. You just kind of answer the questions. But if you don't have this that those guardrails in there, when you apply it to your AI product that maybe you purchased, or you got someone sold you, whatever, it's all good, to your AI platform, it won't hallucinate on you, and you think you're doing a good job. For example, I knew a guy who had some real estate. I'm in real estate. Knew a guy who had some real estate documents in, and he let the AI read it, and the AI started to hallucinate. And you're like, man, couldn't figure out why. Well, you got to put context on it. You gotta put context for it to not hallucinate. It's not honestly, it's not really an AI problem. It's a us problem. Like, we have to really understand that language model for it to work better for us. And a lot of this is just going to come with time, you know, because this is just so new, and we don't know. Um, so hopefully this update just brought some awareness to you. Again, my whole goal is to help you just demystify AI for your small business, and talk about the ways that you can implement some of these things, or really even bring some insights into what may be coming across your desk. Um, about AI and trying to figure out how to implement it into your business, my goal is to help you understand it just a little bit better and bring it all bring it all together. So make sure you join my YouTube. If you watching this on LinkedIn, make sure you follow and subscribe. I'll be talking about AI probably every day. This is my first show on this one, and so I want to just to see what your feedback is and see what you thought about it. And type your comments below. Love to hear your thoughts. And we will see you on the next video. Make it a great day.